I'm going to record this, and we'll be doing a hands-free class tonight. I'm just recording on my iPhone. So everybody, let's come to the mat, and we're going to, let's just start seated. So however that feels, whatever seat you want to take. You could do cross-legged. You could do your feet out in front of you. If you want to get a little bit into the hamstrings, you could bring a butterfly stretch, which is just your soles of your feet together. And then, so for those of us not using hands, probably cross-legged is the best. And we'll just take a few minutes here to come into the space, just to get settled in and to start ourselves off and to start to come into a more relaxed state, where the nervous system is a little less on edge, or a state where we can just kind of let everything go from the day as much as we can. I know that's not really reality, but as much as we can, just being in the moment, in the present moment, even for a half hour, just really helps us to get that reset. So right now, what we can do is just take your right ear to your right shoulder. We're just going to do some neck rolls, taking then the chin to the chest and then over to the left. And we're just going to do a U-shaped one if you want. If you want to do the whole circle, that's fine too. But I'm just doing ear to shoulder, chin to chest, and then ear to the other shoulder. Oh, getting out some of the tension from the shoulders and the neck. Oh, if you've been driving or writing reports, neck usually gets pretty sore. And then too, I feel like if you're really concentrating on things all day, sometimes we forget to relax our shoulders and all the tension builds up there. So it just feels good to roll it out. Awesome. And then you can come to neutral when you're ready. And we're going to do a seated cat-cow. So for this one, we're actually going to come up on our knees. And I'm going to try to do everything without the use of my arms, just so I can feel what you feel, Jackie. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna tuck our toes under, and we're gonna get a nice stretch on our feet and toes, if this feels good for you. So if you tuck your toes, and then you can sit gently back on your heels. Good. And then if this feels okay, great. If not, you can come on out. But if this feels okay, we're now going to do just a few cat and cows with our back. So first, rounding, chin tucks, pelvis tucks, and then opening it through the shoulders, chest, neck. So it's a subtle movement, but it should feel really good. And so we're getting a really nice stretch through the feet and the toes, all those muscles there, as well as warming up the spine here. Just a couple more like that. I don't know about you guys, but my toes are telling me to stop, but I'm just going to keep going for another 2 rounds. Awesome. And then when you're ready, come on up off of your heels, whew, and then give your feet a little tap on the ground. And then hold your cat. So from here, we're going to come up and stand at the top of the mat. Good. We're gonna do some standing poses tonight. So coming to the top of the mat, let's first just feel what it's like to stand here in a posture that is stable and strong, yet relaxed. So what I mean by that is that your core is slightly engaged, tail is tucked a little bit, opening through the chest, lengthening through the crown. Good, and this should feel really nice. And what the relaxation part is your shoulders. Make sure that they are pushing down. Awesome. And then we're just going to take our hands and bring them up and reach up to the sky. And then fold forward and ragdoll fold here. So we're just going to keep this fold. If it's comfortable, you can grab your elbows, either elbow. And if not, just let your hands dangle to the floor. So just moving from side to side here in this ragdoll pose, feeling the cervical spine release. And this great big stretch in the whole back body chain. So everything from calves to hamstrings to lower back, it's all getting this lengthening and stretching. And then when you're ready, just let go of the hands and you can come on up nice and slowly, a little bit at a time, until your head is the last thing that comes up. Oh, good. I love how slowly that was going. And then let's roll the shoulders up, back and down. Up, back and down again. As you're doing this, you can inhale with the shoulders up, exhale back and down. Let everything out. Good. Okay, that felt good. Coming up to the top of the mat again. So I'm not gonna make transitions like super difficult. They're just gonna be really easy. Let's go back into warrior. We're gonna go warrior 1, 2, and 3. Not all at the same time, but I'm just setting you up for the sequence I'm about to do. Very basic and classic sequence. So with the warrior 1, you're taking your right leg to the back and you're at a 30-degree angle. Good. Okay, that should feel good. And then you can play with the spread of the legs. They can be a little bit closer or farther apart. And then we're gonna bend into the front left knee. Yeah, and hands can do whatever you want them to do. Like for this, for Jackie, I would just leave my hands down, palms open, kind of in like a mountain pose, yeah. And then if anybody else has variations they wanna do, go for it. Warrior 1 is kind of awkward because you're facing your hips to the front and the rest of you's kind of, not the rest of you, but the right is turned in a weird way. So it's not my favorite, but since it's not, let's practice it. I'm gonna stay here for 3 breaths. Even though we've already been in it for 3 breaths. Nice, I love that goalpost variation that Vero is doing. Hands to hips, great idea, yeah. Clasping hands behind your back, awesome as well. Good, and then from here, just straighten the left leg, give it a little bit of a break. Yeah, I could feel it working, I don't know about you guys. And we're gonna go into warrior 2. So scooching the back foot back a bit, parallel to the back of the mat. Yeah. Hands can come into a T if that's comfortable. Yes, and then front knee bends. Yeah, awesome. Checking in with the shoulders, are they relaxed? Checking in to make sure your hips aren't jutting out, your tail is tucked. Good. So in this pose, we're building heat, building strength, and also building focus, right? Because you're having to still your body and still your mind. These poses where they are held are probably the hardest for me. Okay, how's your front leg feeling? Mine is burning. So, straightening the front right leg, and then you can let go of the hands. And we're gonna go into warrior 3, so just be careful on this one because you know it's a balancing one, right? So, bringing your right foot up a little bit, closer to the front one, and then facing forward, everything's facing forward. And then going into warrior 3, if you still feel stable, if not, you can stay in pyramid. So this is pyramid right here. If you're feeling steady and stable, carefully, you can have your hands on your waist, carefully lift the back leg, and try to straighten it with the hips facing towards the ground. Oh, that looks so good, you guys. Excellent. That's right. And it doesn't have to be fully straight. It doesn't have to like be perfect, but your hips should be facing the ground. That looks good, Selena. And then when you are ready, you can go ahead and come out, but you can also come back in for a second too. Like sometimes it's good to just take a break for a second, center yourself, and see if you might come back into the pose for another 2 breaths, if that feels okay. Nice, yes, absolutely. You can bring your arms out to your side. Good job, nice, Jackie. And coming out of that, good. And just shake off any, or just kind of roll out any tension in the shoulders that accumulated. Shake it off, yeah. Because sometimes, yeah, good. Sometimes the shoulders can tense up. We try to have the shoulders relaxed in all of these poses, but sometimes they want to take over. Awesome. So that was warrior 1, 2, and 3. Let's do a couple of half sun salutes to rinse it out, then we'll go to the other side. So as you inhale, bringing your hands up to the sky, ceiling. Exhaling, bowing forward. And then inhaling, just halfway lift. You can do this without the hands. Exhale, folding again. Inhaling, tucking your tail and swooping your hands up to the sky in one nice motion. Exhale, hands come down. Awesome. Let's do that 2 more times and just kind of in silence because I feel like I'm talking a lot. Inhaling, reaching. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Sweep on up. Bring the energy up, 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 and bring the energy down. One more time at your own pace. Exhale. Letting go. Inhale. Inhale, sweep up when you're ready. And exhale, hands come to the side. Awesome. Okay, let's do that on the other side now. So taking the left leg and then swooping it back for warrior 1. So your legs aren't too far apart, maybe like 3-4 feet. And then you're sinking into the right knee. So you might have to just wiggle things around to get it the way you want it. Hips are facing to the front. Yeah, good. Hands can come whatever variation you feel like. Jackie, yours should stay probably to the side. 2 breaths here. Opening the chest if you like, looking up if you want to challenge your balance. Awesome. And then we're going to straighten the front leg for a second, give it a break. Yeah. And moving into warrior 2. So setting your legs up a little bit differently now. Moving that back foot closer to the back, parallel to the back side of the mat, and then exhaling, bending through the front knee. And if you want, taking your arms to a T. And then you can finish off the pose by gazing lightly over the front of your hand. Again, thinking about the strength in your lower legs, the steadiness. Maybe it's burning, maybe it's shaking. How can you stay with that? Making sure your shoulders aren't tensing up. And then straightening that leg, letting go of your hands. And then shimmy your back foot up again, because we're going to think about going into warrior 3. So now facing forward, hips are forward. Yeah, good. So for this one, I think the best thing for balance is just like either hands to hips or hands at the heart. I kind of like that one too. Okay, so when you're ready, so you want your right foot planted, right? It's all ready. And then bring your left leg, straightening it to the back. One side might be harder than the other. This side I can barely do, but that's okay. Thinking about the hips,